Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to day two of the APPG webinar week. This is an initiative being put together by the British Cleaning Council and Cleaning and Maintenance magazine. My name is Neil Nixon. I'm editor of Cleaning and Maintenance and conference director for the Cleaning Show. And today I'm being joined by Paul Thrupp, who most of you will know is the chairman of the British Cleaning Council, and really one of the leading lights behind the initiative that was to form the APPG in the first place, and certainly one of the small team that really breathed life into the idea and got it to where it's got to today. Today's discussion is looking specifically at the challenge related to establishing key worker status for cleaning operatives. This follows on from the discussion I held yesterday with Stephen Kerr about general information about the APPG. If you missed that and are interested, you'll be able to find a recording of that session on cleaningmag.com or on the British Cleaning Council website. So without further ado, Paul, thanks so much for joining us today. Great to have you with us.
Good afternoon, Neil, and hope everybody's keeping well. I'm currently in a very sunny northeast. I'm in Sunderland presently.
Excellent. Every time I speak to you, you're somewhere different. You must have a lot of points on your Shell petrol card.
Yeah, that's the joy of. I look after the retail division for OCS, and it gets me around the country in terms of visiting our staff across all of the shopping centres that we look after around the UK.
Fantastic. I'm sure that role has been challenging over the past sort of 18 months or so, but hopefully returning to some level of normality now.
Yes, it has. I mean, in general, because we look after soft services, so on the main, security has hardly been affected within retail because we still need to protect the shopping centres, although there have been some challenges there, of course. But cleaning has been affected around the various centres, and we're now up and running with the opening of non-essential retail back on the 12th of April. So it's great to see our teams back in full flow and providing a great service to our clients and their public.
Fantastic. Well, what we want to specifically talk about today, Paul, I think is the challenge of getting establishing key worker status for cleaning operatives, and that's one of the sort of key aims of the APPG as it begins its life. I know that both the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition did mention cleaning staff during in the House of Commons during the pandemic, but as such, so far, key worker status is something that hasn't broadly been attributed to them. So, what are your aims in trying to move this forward?
Well, no, you're quite right that when this pandemic hit really hit hard back in March last year, a lot of our industry almost went into suspension, although there was still a real need to provide cleaning services across the UK. And when we looked at key and essential worker status, it was clear that our cleaning staff were considered support staff. So in key and essential industries, they were allowed to work, but in others they weren't, which is a real challenge for us because cleanliness and general hygiene is obviously the biggest part of recovery from this pandemic. So we were lobbying hard, and were refreshed when the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition both paid particular tribute in the House of Commons to the work of cleaning staff throughout the UK. And we really thought that recognition at that point would really aid our quest to establish key and essential worker status. But we still, to this day, have not achieved that. So that's our aim. And hopefully, as we come through the pandemic, things will improve. But we want to be prepared in case there's another one, in case something else happens, that our staff, our operatives throughout the UK are accepted as being part of a essential industry across all industries and across all sectors, so that our people can continue to maintain and provide a safe working environment for people of the UK.
And for those people that didn't hear Stephen's discussion of yesterday, what is the role of the APPG in trying to secure this status? How does that act?
Well, it's really the vehicle to get the voice of the industry to the House of Commons, so that we can change those requirements. And I have to say, well done to Stephen, because I thought yesterday's webinar was absolutely fantastic and spot on. And the APPG is quite a complex machine, and we don't run that. We just simply sponsor and support it for the members of Parliament who are associated with that APPG to be our voice, and to be able to debate and to be able to ask questions. And we felt at the BCC that we weren't being heard, not just on the point of key and essential workers, but on a variety of issues, including training, apprenticeships. So we recognise that the vehicle to get us heard would be to form the APPG. So the BCC team worked tirelessly to achieve this, and it was a very proud moment for all of us when that happened. And now we've really got to seize that opportunity to use that vehicle to propel this industry that we all love. One of the top 10 industries in the UK, with a huge contribution to the UK economy. We have a right to be heard. So the APPG gives us that mechanism.
And I think, as I understood from Stephen, with 60 plus MPs plus peers from the House of Lords, and the cleaning and hygiene APPG is a strong one, and as a consequence, it will get a voice and is being heard. And so there's a good chance that the initiatives of that the BCC are bringing to the table for the APPG to deal with will come through. So that's great news. But what benefits do you see in getting essential worker status for cleaning operatives? Obviously, they would have been clear during the pandemic in terms of more, ease of movement, that type of thing. But going forward, what would it help achieve?
Well, it's absolutely that point of being able to contribute to the environment. So during the early stages of the pandemic, I was hearing numerous stories of our staff across the industry, not just within my business, but across the industry, being stopped and turned round and sent home, even though those people were going in to clean up a premises or to provide a hygiene service. And it just doesn't contribute to our recovery from the pandemic. So going forward, we've got to really keep on at this point. We've got to make sure that in the event that something like this happens, or something else, and as sure as we can bet on it, something else will happen, we've got to ensure that cleaning and people associated with cleaning are considered key and essential, so that we can go about doing the job that we do and providing a great service to the UK and providing a clean, healthy and safe environment for everybody, because our people are the ones that do that. I think I've said it many times. No longer are we that invisible workforce, and everybody within the industry, are very proud of the industry and very proud to work within the industry. It's seen some great careers for many great and talented people within the industry, and the general workforce are just fantastic in terms of everything that they do and achieve. So we need to protect that, and we need to ensure that they are recognised. And the APPG is one way which will fast track that for us, and achieving key or essential worker status will raise that for us as well, and will ensure that should this happen again, we can go about and provide a quicker recovery from what we've just seen.
And I think what one of the things that you and the BCC were particularly active in during the pandemic was raising the profile of the industry as well. And this sort of is a strengthening of that position, I suppose. But so the bigger picture is that through achieving this sort of essential worker status for cleaning operatives, it will also raise the profile of the sector, will probably help with recruitment, I would imagine, but also just general pride in the job and just the way that the sector is regarded by the public.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way that the public think about cleaning has changed considerably over the last 14 months or so, and no one's more pleased than I am to see that, because I've been in the industry for a long time now, and some people might say probably too long now. But I've seen the great work that people within the industry do day in, day out, and it's about time people were recognised for that. So the pandemic, and it's strange to consider this, but the pandemic has helped our industry in a number of ways, certainly in terms of raising the profile. With the APPG now, we'll be able to get recognition, achieve key and essential worker status, and we will. We won't stop until we do. That'll put pressure on the apprenticeships. So, we still do not have a general apprenticeship for the cleaning industry, which for an industry employing as many as we do is quite shocking. A lot of the major and medium-sized organisations are contributing millions of pounds to the apprenticeship levy, and we all have difficulty in spending that. And one of the easy ways we could easily increase that expenditure would be to form an apprenticeship, because we've got tens of thousands, millions of people out there that do not have access to an apprenticeship that will enhance their skills. That's the starting point. From there, they can move up through their careers, and a lot of the leaders within the industry have all progressed through the ranks. Would an industry that does that, would an industry that has great career prospects for people, even starting on the first rung of the ladder. And what we want to see is that entry level widened, and the industry become more accessible to a higher number of people. The immigration status laws will not help us going forward, and another one of our objectives is to see the point system improved for the cleaning industry with regards to immigration. But if we can get the apprenticeship and we can get the career progression highlighted within the industry, then we're reaching for the sky now, and it will be great to see the industry move on.
I think that's great to hear, and thanks for referencing the apprenticeships, because tomorrow at 2 o'clock I'll be speaking with Delia Cannings, who is heading up the initiative to get the apprenticeship through. So that's a great initiative, and I agree that having that at the entry point is going to be a great feed for the sector. But also, of course, with the increased use of technology and just a general modernising, I suppose, of the sector in general, it would appear to me that this it's becoming more and more appealing as a sector to join as a career rather than just as a job that people fall into. So that's a great thing. In terms of of the key worker status, there's some not confusion, but some anomalies that inevitably creep into these things. In that, currently, if you're a waste operative, I believe you're considered to be a key worker, whereas if you're a cleaning operative, you're not. So what's the scope as far as you're concerned in terms of trying to achieve this key worker status?
I mean, you hit on a good point there. So actually, if you're a cleaner working within the waste industry, you're also you're considered a support worker. So, and that's the ambiguity around the key and essential worker status. So, if you're a cleaner working in healthcare, if you're a cleaning member of staff working in retail, essential retail, then you are considered a support worker and you get key or essential worker status. But other than that, you're not. So if you're not within those sectors, and the sectors are well known, then you do not. You're not considered key or essential, and that's ludicrous because it doesn't matter what premises you have. The hygiene of those premises, of that establishment, is absolutely paramount to the recovery. If people are going back into work, or if people are visiting premises, those premises need to be maintained correctly.
And are you thinking that, or are you, is your ambition for this to apply to all cleaning operatives in all sectors, irrespective of levels of training, etc., etc.? It would be everybody operating, in a cleaning and hygiene role.
Yeah, my ambition is that everybody within the industry, cleaning industry, you know, in an operator level, or a function directly associated with operator level, would receive key or essential worker status. So whether it's the guys or girls driving the lorries that are delivering the chemicals, whether it's people delivering the machinery, whether it's cleaning staff, people working on premises, whoever should have that status, because cleaning and hygiene, as everybody knows, is the answer to a quicker recovery from the pandemic.
Yeah,
We need to
absolutely.
protect ourselves for future events. So it's future proofing, because we can't be doing this every time there's an issue. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. And, government, everybody in authority, anybody outside of authority, realise how important the cleaning industry is to the UK, particularly in this type of event. So, it's a no-brainer for me, and certainly I won't stop campaigning until we achieve it.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, and I think you're right. I think future proofing is just as important as what we've achieved so far. And I travelled on HS1 last week, and it was noticeable how the presence of cleaning staff had been enhanced, and just in their touch point cleaning while the train was moving, that type of thing. And so even if we, God forbid, even we don't have another pandemic, but we will very likely, as population increases, we will have local issues, and it is important that cleaning operatives can sort of be allowed to spring into action as required. So I 100% agree with you and support the initiative, and I'm sure the whole industry is grateful for the work that you and the APPG are doing in this regard. You touched on the issue of potentially a shortage in workforce owing to the changes with the Immigration Act of 2020. It leads me neatly into being able to plug Thursday's APPG webinar week, which is with Jim Melvin, who is obviously your deputy chair at the British Cleaning Council, where we'll be looking at um, recruitment and immigration and other topics surrounding that. But do you anticipate, um, the enhancement into the higher status for cleaning operatives? Will that lead to the government adding cleaning operatives to the skilled points-based system list, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Just before I carry on and elaborate on that one, Neil, just something you said earlier about the visibility of cleaning presence, and yeah, we're strong believers in that. The more we can be seen to be adding value in terms of the public seeing a presence in terms of good hygiene, good sanitisation, good cleaning practices, the more confident people will have to re-establish themselves out in the environment, to revisit the shopping centres or the theatres or wherever it is. So I urge everybody within the industry to grab that and ensure that everything we do is visible, because that will grow confidence. But on the worker status and the point system, yet I think all of this will add to that, so that the cleaning skills will automatically rise, and then we trust that the point system will rise with it, so that people within our industry then will be able to qualify with the necessary number of points to work over in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all really promising, and that's all anybody could want. I think we've benefited hugely from your the BCC's work during this pandemic in raising the profile, and long may that continue. Um, we've got a lot of people have joined us now, and there will be a lot of people that will watch this on demand, as they say, at a later date when they're home from work or whatever. But just one question that they might be interested to know is, how can people in the industry get involved in the initiatives you're undertaking? Is there a route for them to influence the BCC? Can they join committees? Can they influence the APPG? What's your advice to them?
Yeah, absolutely, Neil. And we're not a closed shop. Um, I'm very lucky to be able to lead the BCC for a short time period, and I'm immensely proud of being given that opportunity. But we are the industry. It's not BCC. We represent the industry. We're the voice of the industry, but it's a whole industry that we're representing. And anybody can contact the BCC and or contact myself directly, and we'll involve you. We've got quite a number of groups up and running already, whether it's apprenticeships, whether it's key worker, or other subjects. The last 12 months has seen a lot of interest in our industry, and I'm really pleased to see the industry pulling together, because as I said earlier, there's some great businesses, there's some great companies, there's some great people within our cleaning industry, and more recently, I've seen them coming together as a whole, and it's a really strong team. So everybody out there, drop us a line, get in touch through our websites. We value all of your opinions, and we're here to represent the industry. It's not just the view of the BCC board or people that sit on the APPG advisory committee. It's the view of the whole industry. So any subject at all that you want us to look at, want us to consider, want us to share, we will. The industry is very special to us all, and we work tirelessly for the industry, not for ourselves. It's for the industry. So if anybody needs anything, or wants to know if it's anything, or wants to contribute, then please give us a shout. We'll gladly have your support.
Well, that's great. It's good to know that it's very inclusive. I know that it is, but it's good to be able to convey that to the people listening in. And I'm sure the disparate experience of different sectors of the industry can all be brought to good effect in taking the work of the APPG forward. I'm conscious we've got about 5 minutes left, but while I've got you, Paul, it would be remiss if we didn't just mention the cleaning show, because that is an opportunity for us to celebrate the success and what's been achieved during the pandemic, and it really will represent the first time that the industry will have to get together, since taking place at Excel in London from the 2nd to the 4th of November. What are your expectations for that event this year?
Oh, Neil, so excited about this one. You know, it's we've had a couple of failed dawns on this one because we thought we were going to go ahead, and we had to keep moving it. This time it will go ahead, and what a great opportunity for us to showcase everything that's good about the industry. You know, we've been prominent over the last 12, 14 months or so. And this is a really good opportunity to showcase that. It's a good opportunity to showcase all of our achievements. It's a good opportunity to showcase all of the innovations, all the new equipment we've got, the methodology, the way we've adapted. You know, there's some fantastic initiatives at the moment in terms of cobotics and automation. It's a real great opportunity. Aside from that, it's a great opportunity to meet colleagues within the industry, you know, meet people and say thank you for what they've done. I'm using it as an opportunity to invite members of Parliament to the show, to let them see firsthand what we're about, to see how professional we are, and to highlight the great stuff that we do. We're writing to the Prime Minister. We hope that he will accept our invitation to open the show. You know, it's high profile, and for those exhibitors out there that maybe haven't signed up as yet, please do. It will go ahead, and it will be a fantastic event, so don't miss out. And for everybody that visits, please get your registrations done, completed, and we'll see you there. It promises to be a fantastic event with some great seminars and some great people and some great initiatives.
Well, here, I echo that 100%. It's great to hear that that you're going to be involving some of the parliamentarians in the event as well. And I know Stephen was talking yesterday about the possibility of some of the cleaning sector going down to the Houses of Parliament as well. So that sort of interaction can only help keep this sector at the forefront of their minds as they make policy, etc., etc. As Paul said, you can register free to attend the cleaning show at cleaningshow.co.uk. So please visit there and get your registration in. There's lots going on. There's a whole host of initiatives at this year's show, as well as, of course, as all the key exhibitors from around this sector. Paul, just very quickly, in parting, perhaps, you run one sector of one of the largest cleaning companies in the country in OCS. Just anecdotally, what's been your experience over the past 18 months, and what are you looking forward to going forward?
I think first of all, just to correct you, Neil, OCS wouldn't consider themselves as a cleaning company. We were when I first joined, actually, and we're now a very strong FM company. So I have to correct that, otherwise my CEO will be on the phone to me afterwards.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. Well, I guess as everybody else, it's been a trying time. You know, it's difficult when you're a people business, when you can't move around as freely as you did. It's difficult when you've got people moving into furlough, and people are missing the interaction of not being at work. You've also got the challenges that you've still got quite high numbers of people at work. We've got the difficulties of meeting with clients and making sure that we communicate effectively to our clients so that they're confident with what we're doing. At the same time, we've had lots of welfare challenges because not only do we need to look after the welfare of people that are at work, but we also needed to consider the welfare of people that were on furlough or weren't in work. So that was it took a lot of effort from a lot of people within the business. But generally, people have pulled together. We've held lots of events online and offline. We've got round where we can. We've made sure that people were safe in their environment. You know, we initiated new COVID assessments, risk assessments, etc., so that people were comfortable in their working. We made sure that the welfare was good and all the PPE was there, and that we looked after the general welfare of all of our staff. So the challenges were the people. Needn't have worried. The people have been fantastic. They do a great job out there, and I, for one, do never ever tire of getting around the contracts to say thank you for what they do. So it's the same challenges that everybody within the industry have had, but I can see across the industry that every single company has met those challenges well, and the people within the industry can hold their heads up of a job well done. I think over the last 14 months or so, certainly, of course, all the years before it was a job well done as well. But now people are taking more notice of what we do.
Absolutely. Well, it's been fascinating talking with you, Paul, and I think we, as an industry, we should thank you, Jim, Delia, Stephen, and all the other people involved in setting up this APPG, and also for representing and raising the profile of the sector during the pandemic for what you've done. It's been an incredible initiative, and so far a great achievement. And we all look forward to your successes. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, we have a conversation with Delia Cannings, and we're looking at apprenticeships and training, and we'll be talking through what's involved in getting approval for a cleaning industry apprenticeship, as Paul referenced earlier. And then on Thursday, I'll be talking with Jim Melvin about immigration and recruitment. And then on Friday, we'll all be meeting back together also at 2 o'clock, where all four speakers in this week's webinar sessions will come together and take your questions. So we look forward to seeing you on all of those. Just leaves me to say thanks once again to Paul. Thanks for joining us, Paul. It's been a real pleasure having you with us and interesting.
Neil, thank you so much, and it's been an honour to lead the BCC, and one I'll never forget. But it's the people of the cleaning industry that do everything, and we're simply just the voice for them. I think all of the cleaning staff out there, they're the true heroes.
Well, it's very good of you to say, and I think that's one of the great things about this sector is top to bottom, everybody plays such an important role, and the work you're doing will ensure that that's recognised top to bottom. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.